On Friday, we remembered the September 11th attacks and we honored those who died. Our government eventually found the mastermind. Osama bin Laden and Navy SEALs killed him. But Zacarias Moussaoui, who admitted to helping plan the September 11th attack, said they had help from our friends. He testified that high-ranking Saudi officials helped bankroll the plot. We'll show you what we know of links to the Saudi government and what we don't know because our government is still keeping secrets more than 19 years later. And we'll start with perspective from former Senator and Governor Bob Graham. He co-chaired the congressional investigation into the September 11th attacks. And he insists that the Saudi government had a hand in it. And he said he knows because he's read or personally written the evidence that remains classified to this day.
It has allowed an organization that supported the hijackers to possibly remain in place because it's gone undisclosed.
Undisclosed because most of the records in the investigation remain blocked from public view. In July of 2016, the Obama administration did release a sliver of information, 28 pages with much of the contents blacked out. Well, the lines that weren't blacked out did draw some connections between Saudi agents and the future hijackers after they flew to America and trained for the attacks. For example, they reveal a suspected Saudi intelligence officer signed an apartment lease for 2 of the terrorists in California a year before the attack. And that suspected Saudi agent then got a substantial boost in pay until about a month before the attacks, at which point he left the United States. The 28 pages also reveal the FBI believes terrorists met with a Saudi military official in his apartment, and a Saudi official aligned his travel and stayed at the same hotel as one of the terrorists days before the attack. Those are just a couple of examples. There are other links to the Saudi government in those 28 pages, but Graham insists there are thousands of other documents that reveal much more, including insight on a Saudi family that had connections to the terrorists and then abruptly left their home in Sarasota, leaving behind their valuables days before the attacks. But President Bush has kept this secret. Then President Obama signed an executive order in 2009 blocking release of information, and the Trump administration continued to block it, citing state secrets and the need to protect national security. Graham says more than 25,000 pages he's aware of have been locked from public view because they show the Saudi government was in on it. And he says 3 administrations have been keeping the key evidence under lock and key to protect our alliance with the Saudis.
We provide them with security, and they supply us with a guaranteed source of petroleum.
If he's right about that, it raises 2 obvious questions. First, why would the Saudis, our ally, plot against us? Well, Senator Graham says the Saudis wanted to appease Osama bin Laden to keep his forces from attacking them. Remember when Saddam Hussein threatened Saudi Arabia, the Saudi king trusted American troops to defend the kingdom instead of bin Laden's forces. Bin Laden was not happy about that and could have retaliated by fueling unrest within the kingdom. Well, the royal family knew how unrest from other extremists toppled the Shah of Iran, and they did not want to suffer the same fate. Graham says the Saudis therefore supported terrorist efforts abroad to protect the throne from threats from within. That brings us to the second question. If Graham's claims are true, why in the world would our government keep all of that classified? Well, first, Graham says the U.S. government does not want to disrupt oil flow, and with that, our economy, and disrupt key military positions that we have in the kingdom that we use to fight the terrorists. Plus, if Graham's claims are true, and the U.S. does have irrefutable evidence the Saudis sponsored the September 11th attacks, releasing that could break our alliance and with it destabilize the Saudi government. And if we lose this alliance, as flawed and two-faced as it might be, a far more hostile regime could and likely would take over Saudi Arabia, just like we saw in Iran. Graham and investigative journalists have been pushing our government to release more evidence. In South Florida, investigative journalist Dan Christensen has led the charge. His team filed public records requests and pursued litigation with the Department of Justice for years. And those efforts through the years have brought more evidence to light. His outlet, the Florida Bulldog, has since become a clearinghouse of September 11th information the government may not want you to know. Meanwhile, the loved ones of September 11th victims are suing the Saudi government in U.S. court, and we may soon learn much more as their case moves forward. In a landmark development this week, a federal judge just determined some key Saudi officials must testify, which of course may bring much more to light in the coming rounds of money, power, and politics.